Hey guys, sorry I'm not there today. At home with my kids. Might come guest appearance here. So I wanted to walk through this lab report template really quickly, just so I know you know what I expect of you. But if you have any questions, feel free to email or message me, and I will get back to you. Or we can do a Google Meet or meet in person on Friday. I'm available for office hours. So let's start with this introduction. So the intro is going to be your shortest section of your lab report. So the first thing you want to do is tell the reader what question you're trying to answer. So you would say something like, the purpose of this lab was to ... And you're going to go back to that guiding question that you're given on your lab packet. And then I want you to write just a couple sentences about what background information you need to answer that question. So you might need to talk a little bit about how chemical reactions work, how stoichiometry works. Again, you have all that background information in your lab packet. So you're kind of just picking out the most important parts of that background information and putting it in your own words in this introduction. So this introduction should be, maybe like 5 sentences, 1 sentence for the purpose and 4 sentences of background information. So 4 to 5 sentences there. It's going to be your shortest section. Okay, your method. This is a section where you want to be really detailed. So you want to describe what you did in such a detailed way that somebody else could do the same experiment and get the same results. So make sure you don't leave any details out. You're going to write this in the past tense because you already did it. You're not writing a recipe here. It's like you're telling the story of the lab. So you can write it in first person because you did it, but you need to write it in past tense because it's already been done. So you would say, first we filled our trough 3/4 of the way full of water. Then we filled our graduate cylinder all the way full and we flipped it into the trough so that there were no air bubbles in the cylinder. Something like that. So you're just going to be very, very detailed so that somebody else could do the experiment along with you. And a diagram here would be really helpful, especially with the graduate cylinder. Yes, there's an N there for you, buddy. Okay, sorry. So a diagram would be helpful, especially with the graduate cylinder trough tube setup, just because it's kind of specific. Okay. So then your results and discussion, or in parentheses, your argument. This is going to be probably the hardest section to write because this is where you have to analyze your data. So you are going to look at your data and try to find the patterns. So I gave you those guiding questions. They're up on the board in my classroom, and I'm also going to post them to Schoology for you. That's what you want to think about when you're analyzing your data. But before you even analyze your data, you need to present it. So you have that data table that you wrote by hand. You want to include that data table digitally here in your results. So you want to introduce it with a sentence, like we did some calculations and, write down an example calculation, and we came up with the mole ratios and the number of moles in the grams for everything. And then we did the experiment, we collected these data. And then you would caption your table. So you see this table down here? See how under it has a caption? Table 1, and it has a little description of what the table says. So you want to caption that table just to tell the reader, like, hey, this is what's in this table. And then once you've given your results, then you can get into your actual analysis. So you're looking for those patterns in your data, you're answering your guiding question. And again, those questions that kind of break it down that I gave you on the board and in Schoology, those are going to help you answer that guiding question a little better. They kind of break it down into steps. So make sure you answer those. This says it should also include an error analysis. So that's the last thing I want you to write. Is an error analysis, and you can't do a % error or anything on this. I just want you to identify 2 to 3 areas of your experiment where maybe your data weren't perfect. Like, did you not put the cap on fast enough on your test tube, or did you pinch the tube or anything like that? Are your measuring skills maybe not A+? Are there limitations to the instruments you were using? So maybe it's not even something that's your fault, but it's just what's a specific limitation of the setup or the instruments you're using. So give me a couple areas where you could have some error. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me or message me and we'll get that figured out. But otherwise, try to get this done by Friday, please. So you should be working on this at home. On your at-home days, try to have this done by Friday. All right. Have a lovely day.